Okay, I'm instructing the pupil at the partly trained stage. Yeah, my instructor can't make it today, but he has got the same car as you, so I am familiar with the controls. He said today we were going to look at my use of mirrors then. He said we're just a little bit weak in places, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was going to teach me how to do the emergency stop.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, have you got any questions before we go on the roll on it, or?
So partly trying. Would you be going over the mirrors in the book?
No.
Just the emergency stop.
Watch my use of mirrors. Ask me questions about my mirrors.
Yeah.
And remember, the mirrors run all the way through the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know where you're going to do the brief for the emergency stop?
We'll do it. We can do it now.
No. Outside.
You
Yeah?
You wouldn't do it now in the book?
No.
So you go out and...
Yeah, it'd be outside, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly as you watch it in the videos, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you okay with that?
Yep.
So I'm partly trained, my use of mirrors and the emergency stop, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello Tony, my name's Russ.
Hi Russ, nice to meet you.
And you. Your normal driving instructor can't make it today.
Yeah.
We're going to go out in my car. It's the same model as his. It's got the same controls.
Yeah.
And he's asked me to cover emergency stop and mirrors with you today.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay. So we're going to go out and have a look at that today.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to set yourself up?
Yeah.
Okay. What can you see in your rear mirror, Tony?
I can see the hole in the back window.
Yep.
Bit at the top, bit at the bottom.
Yep.
Bit of my restraint, a bit of yours.
Okay. And your driver's mirror?
I can see the door handle in the bottom corner. The buildings at the top, and the wires in the middle.
Okay. And the
And the
passenger?
same.
Good. Okay. When you're ready. I'll move off.
That's better.
Okay. You've adjusted your seat, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've adjusted your seat, you now have to reset your mirrors.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So when you're doing the cockpit drill, when you're getting into the car, set your position up first.
Yeah, I thought it was comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the
Okay.
same, so I can see.
It's okay to adjust your seat, but
Yeah.
just remember if you do, you then have to reset your mirrors.
Yeah, I can see the same as what I saw the last time. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good.
End of the road, we're going to turn left.
Go left at the end of the road, Tony. Tony, do we check behind both sides before we drive off?
Why?
Why? Because we've got blind spots, we need to know what's all around us.
Yeah, I'm parked right next to that wall, haven't I?
Could still be somebody coming up the inside there, couldn't there? Or a pedestrian.
Yeah, I mean, the examiner will play along with you on this, yeah?
Yeah.
If we're parked by the curb, or I'm parked right next to that wall, we don't need to do a 6-point check, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They will do it if you push them into it, but it's just a kind of a nodding dog syndrome, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah?
Yep. Okay.
And turning left.
Turning left at the end, please, Tony. So if we're turning left, Tony, what mirrors do we use?
Middle and right.
Okay.
And we're going to turn right.
If we're turning left, Tony, we're turning right here. If we're turning left, we check the central and then the left mirror. Why do we do that?
Oh, distance, speed and bicycles, isn't it?
Yeah, good. And the right, which mirrors do we check?
Sorry?
And if we're turning right, which mirrors do we check?
The right and then the middle.
Okay. We check the middle and then the right. Okay.
Oh, to make a difference.
Why do we do that?
I don't think it matters really.
Okay, we're checking the mirror to see what's behind us, and to see how far things are behind us, because that's the correct distance, and then we're checking that mirror to make sure that we've got no overtaking vehicles, a motorcyclist or a push bike coming up on the outside. Because if we don't check, we could have an accident, couldn't we?
Oh, right. And we're going to turn left.
So we're turning left here, Tony. Which mirrors are we going to check again?
Middle.
Okay, let's check. Let's check the middle then.
I did.
Yeah, and then the left.
Yeah.
Good.
And we're going to turn right.
Turning right here, please, Tony.
That's a good one. Got them in the right order there, didn't I? The mirrors.
So when you're approaching the junction here, Tony, which mirror do you check first?
I'll check the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the left.
We're turning right, so it's not necessary to do a left hand to see what's coming up on the inside here. We're coming up to the junction. You need to be checking the central mirror and then the right hand mirror, the driver's mirror.
Oh.
Why are we checking the driver's mirror?
Oh, is that in case somebody's overtaken me?
Yeah. And what would happen if you didn't check that mirror?
I wouldn't see the person overtaking me.
Yeah, it could all result in an accident. Okay, so we've entered a new road, Tony. Which mirror do we check now?
Oh, the left one.
No, we check this one, Tony.
Oh, sorry.
Why do we check that one?
Oh, to see how close that car is behind.
Yeah.
Just that one, yeah?
We can check all the mirrors, Tony. We're constantly doing the checks, aren't we? Looking in this mirror.
So I check that one and that one.
Yeah. We check them all, Tony. But the reason that you're coming into a new road, you check this. You're checking the rear view mirror to see if something's followed behind you, and then we need to know how close they are behind you.
And why am I checking the right mirror again?
You need to check the right mirror, Tony, in case there's a motorcyclist or something and he's accelerating into the junction and he's alongside you. You need to know that.
No, I got quick at him, wouldn't
No, and if he was overtaking you, Tony, you let him go.
I?
You just ease off and let him go.
Yeah.
Okay? So next time you enter a new road, what are you going to do?
Middle and right.
Good.
And we're going to turn right.
Turning right at the junction, please, Tony. What mirrors are we going to use?
Oh, middle and right.
Okay. I've seen you use the right mirror, that's good. That last mirror check, Tony, was a little bit late.
Yeah, you could have just given me a little push there, can you outroll? Might as well get the right one, yeah.
Okay. How often do you think we should be looking at these mirrors, Tony?
Oh, but every 10 minutes, isn't it?
It's about every 8 seconds.
And turning left.
Turning left here, please, Tony.
Middle. Oh, and left. Oh, middle left.
We always need to know what's around us, Tony. So these mirror checks in normal driving conditions, about every 8 seconds we need to be using them, if not sooner than that, depending on the traffic. Why do you think we need to do that?
Keep yourself updated.
Yeah. Be fully aware of what's around us and know what's going on.
I don't need to worry about moving in and around these parked cars, do I?
You need to.
And turning left.
You need Tony left here, please, Tony. What distance do we need to keep?
I'll find my distance. I don't need to check the mirrors moving in and around these parked cars, do I?
Any hazard, Tony, we check the mirrors, the MSP sequence. No, so if we've got a hazard, rear view, mirror, signal, position.
Oh, I signal the ground parked cars, do I? And turning left.
You might need to in some circumstances.
Yeah, I need to check the mirrors around the parked cars. That's the lifeline I'm giving you by swinging in and out and back in again.
Okay. So before any hazard, Tony, if it's a junction, roundabout, parked car, any hazard at all, it's the mirror.
Is it change of speed or direction?
Yes.
And turning left.
Yeah. So we're using the mirrors all the time.
Turning left.
Left, please, Tony. Review mirror, Tony. Come on. We've entered a new road, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we need to know what's behind us.
Yeah.
So we've got these hazards here, Tony. What should we be doing with the mirrors?
Oh, middle.
Middle and outside?
Oh.
Yeah.
Outside.
Driver's mirror.
Oh, right. Don't have to worry about coming back in then.
Coming back in, Tony, same again. We have to check the mirror. We need to know what's behind
What,
us.
middle and right again?
Middle and left.
Oh, middle and
Okay, why are we checking the middle and left?
I was supposed to see what's followed me and see if they're overtaking me. And turning left.
I'm turning left here, please, Tony. We're checking this left mirror in case there's a cyclist coming on the inside. So if you're cutting in and there's a cyclist there, what's going to happen?
Probably hit him.
You're going to hit him, aren't you? So if we're pulling back in, rear view mirror, passenger mirror. Okay.
Turning left.
Left turn here, please, Tony.
You get me to stop on the left here.
You pull up on the left here, please, Tony. Tony, as we're pulling in,
Yeah.
just check this mirror.
Just
Yeah.
that one.
Well, both of them, the rear view mirror and this
I
one.
didn't see that car come up behind me.
Okay. If you'd have been looking in your mirror, you'd have seen him. Like the cyclist who was on the inside. If you hadn't have seen
sorry.
him, you'd have hit him as well.
Oh, right.
So we need to be checking these mirrors. Rear view mirror, passenger mirror.
Oh, right, I remember that. Well, this is suitable area to the emergency stop.
Okay.
Got your book?
Yep. Okay, Tony. We're going to cover the emergency stop. I'll give you the roadside briefing here. Emergency stop. Basically, we don't want to be going out with the intention of doing an emergency stop, so we can perhaps prepare for eventualities like school crossing. If we're passing a school at kicking out time, then there's going to be kids around, so we can take a bit of speed off as we're approaching, so we haven't got things that happening unexpectedly.
Right.
Okay, so we'll be looking out for hazards like that, things like loose chip-ins and road surfaces, retarmacking.
Yeah.
So if there's a hazard there, let's just take some speed off and let's be extra cautious.
Yeah.
So we may not have to brake him straight away. And we should be looking at our mirrors, as we mentioned, all the time, about every 8 seconds. So we're fully aware of what's going on around us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there shouldn't be any surprises if we're looking forward and we're using our mirrors all the time. Okay. Say again, sorry.
Oh, I can see it better now.
Okay. So there's always the unexpected. Pedestrians, bikes, motorbikes and cars. Okay. If we're conducting an emergency stop, we're not going to use our mirrors. Okay, it's the only time that we're not going to use the mirrors.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I'm going to ask you to stop, and I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to say stop. So when I do, you're stopping straight away. You're not going to do any mirror checks. You're not going to see what's behind.
Oh.
Okay, it's going to be you're looking in front of you to see what's going on, see what hazards are ahead of you. You're not looking at what's behind. Okay, the priority is to stop and avoid what's going on in front of you. Okay, when you're stopping, you're moving your foot, you're pivoting your foot. If you can put your foot on the accelerator.
Yeah, but we can do a consolidation at the end, yeah?
Okay. You're moving your foot off the accelerator and you're pivoting it over to the brake, and then you're pressing down. Okay? You're keeping your hands on the wheel. Keeping your hands on the wheel all the time. And as you come into a stop, you're going to push the clutch down, so we're not going to stall. Okay? So it's brake down first and then clutch down. And then handbrake neutral after we've come to a stop. And as we're moving off, after we've stopped, rainbow check all the way around, and then carry on from the park position. Okay. This car has got ABS, and there will be a marker somewhere on the indication panel.
And on the ABC.
It'll have an ABS warning light on to indicate this vehicle's got ABS.
Yeah, I know A, B, C, D, E, F.
Okay, ABS, so it's anti-brake, anti-lock brake system.
Oh, right.
Okay, most modern cars have got it. Some of the older ones haven't. And what that basically means, the ABS, is that if you press the brake really, really hard, it will the vehicle shouldn't skid. It can skid sometimes, depending if there's loose road surface or something like that. But it controls each individual wheel. Okay. Sometimes you'll hear like a thudding if you're braking really hard.
I hear it.
Yeah, and that will mean that the anti-lock braking system has come in. You don't lift off your foot. You keep your foot on and let the car do the work.
So I had to listen very carefully.
Well, if you hear it, don't take your foot off. The car is doing its job.
Does it scream at me?
Does it scream at you?
Yeah.
There may be occasions where a tyre might screech, but the ABS system
I'd feel it, wouldn't I? Just out of road, yeah?
Yeah, you would feel it. You'd feel one of the tyres might go light.
Yeah, I'd feel the vibration in my foot, wouldn't I?
Yeah, and the ABS would kick in and it would vibrate on your foot. But you can't. Don't be tempted to take your foot off. You keep your foot on. Okay. If the car goes into a rear wheel skid, then we'll be turning our wheels to the left to try and keep it back in line.
So if the car skids to the right?
If the car skids to the right,
turn to the left.
Turn to the left.
So I steer the opposite way to what's skidding, yeah?
On a front wheel skid. So you'd be turning into the skid.
So which way is that skidding there?
It's a front.
It's skidding. Is that skidding to the left?
Yes.
So which way would I steer?
To the left.
Oh, right. Massively.
No, not massively. Not massively. You're steering gently into it. If you oversteer, if you overcompensate, you'll go to an opposite lock.
All right.
It'll go too far. Okay, and these are an indication of your stopping distances, so you can see how long it's going to take your car to stop. So if you're doing 20 miles an hour, which is relatively slow, it's still going to take you 40 feet to stop under normal driving conditions. 30 miles an hour, it's going to take you 75 feet. And if it's wet or snowing, it's going to be double or 5 times that. Okay? Should we give it a go?
Yeah, what's this? Quick reaction thing you're on about?
Quick reaction, okay. So, we're going to be driving, and I'm going to tell you to stop. I'm going to put my hand out down and put it down and stop.
What are you going to do?
So I'm going to hold my hand out and I'm going to say stop.
You hold it a bit hard so I'll be able to see it.
Yeah, I can hold it up there. Stop. Okay? When I do that, as soon as I say it, as I'm saying it, you put your foot on the brake. So you're pivoting your foot off the accelerator, you put it onto the brake, and you're pushing down on the brake. as you come to a stop, just before you stop, you're putting the clutch in. You're not going to put your brake and your clutch down at the same time, because then the engine braking is not working. So by pushing your brake down, you've still got engine braking because you're in gear.
Oh.
Yeah? And then just before we stop, you're pushing your clutch down so we don't stall. Okay? Do you want to give that a go? Do you want to pivot your foot on the accelerator and move it across to the brake?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying stop, and then you're going to pivot your foot over so you're keeping your heel on the ground. Yeah. And just before we stop, you depress the clutch. Now you've got your foot, put your heel on the ground. Yeah, so you're taking it off the accelerator and moving it over to the brake and pushing down.
Oh, just slide it across?
Yes. And then pushing down sharply. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try that again.
Okay. Stop.
Can you say it a bit louder so it's
Okay.
a bit exciting?
Stop. Okay, and then just before
Oh,
we stop,
clutch.
clutch.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to give that a go?
Right. Just a couple of things before we go.
Right.
Yeah. Things you want to watch for is, how about check the mirror before I stop? Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as you give it the command to stop, don't be frightened to make the command a bit more of a realistic one, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to look over your right shoulder bit because you've got a duty of care, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you look over that right shoulder before you give the command, yeah?
Yeah.
Put your hand up where I can see it
Okay.
and say stop, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it if there's anybody behind me because I'll tell you to where to go, yeah? Because that's dangerous. Don't do it if there's any vehicles coming towards us.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do them if pedestrians are very close by, yeah?
Right.
Okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you're going to watch for is look at my eyes, my hands and my feet, yeah?
Yeah.
The errors I can make on this is look in the mirror, which is going to delay my reactions, yeah?
Yeah.
Slow reaction could be caused by looking in the mirror because that's going to take me a second or so. So that means it's going to take me longer to get off the gas. Or slow reactions could be me not getting off the gas onto the brake quick enough,
Okay.
not braking hard enough, yeah,
Yeah.
or putting the clutch down too early,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So should I drive on?
Okay. When you're ready, Tony.